We're going to keep with the theme. Starting QBs get benched. They're being replaced by their backups. Let's talk about what's happening in Pittsburgh. The Steelers beat the Chargers 20-10, and a lot happened. So we know, we've covered it before, Justin Fields got sent to Pittsburgh for a conditional pick. Now, it was a 6th-round pick.
What did he get sent to Pittsburgh for? For a bag of what?
A bag of potato chips, original Lay's potato chips, and a Diet Coke. So he got sent to Pittsburgh. The Bears had to send a 6th-round draft pick. Or they got a 6th-round draft pick. Now, if Justin Fields were to play 51% of the snaps on offense for the Steelers, that 6th-rounder would move up to a 4th. Now, instead of a bag of Lay's original potato chips and Diet Coke, the Bears have upgraded to 2 bags of Lay's original potato chips and a good 6-pack. So they've upgraded their draft pick. They still got some potato chips to share around. I know Eberflus might be needing that 6-pack come the end of the season or come Black Monday. We're going to have to see what happens with Eberflus. But let's talk about Pittsburgh for a second. Justin Fields is 3-0 this season, Nate. He's 55 for 75 on his passes, a 73.3% completion, 518 yards, 2 touchdowns, a pick, a touchdown on the ground. And he's looking good on the Steelers. Now, we had a segment Thursday of Bears fans regretted sending him to Pittsburgh. Bruce said no. He said he wants to still stick with Caleb Williams even after what he's seen with Caleb Williams, which I personally think they're in denial. I think Bears fans are in denial, but that's just me. That's just me. I mean, numbers don't lie, but, that's just me. He's flourishing in Pittsburgh. Bears also have a good defense. Think about what would have happened with the Bears. They also have a good defense, and he's doing exactly what he's supposed to do in Pittsburgh. He might not be an MVP candidate. He might not be an elite quarterback, but what he is doing is allowing Pittsburgh defense to not play on the field the entire game, which is exactly what he's supposed to do. He's holding the ball long enough on offense so that his defense can rest long enough to continue to go out there and be elite, especially against the Chargers. Now, the Steelers defense have looked good. They held the Chargers and Jim Harbaugh's offense to 10 points. I mean, you can't get any better than that. 10 points is pretty good when you hold the team to that. So, Nate, I kind of want to go with your thought process. You think Bears fans are in denial. You think they actually regret sending Justin Fields to Pittsburgh. And then I want to talk about benching him and Russell Wilson.
All right, so one of the things, okay, so talking about the Chicago Bears now, I think we had gotten to this whole ordeal that the Bears, before the draft came and took place, I thought that I think me and you were on probably the same page that the Bears shouldn't trade trade Justin Fields, that just build around him. Trade that number 1 overall pick, get some draft equity and some players, because he started to flourish. Excuse me. At the second half of the season, he started to really flourish. But they didn't. Now they have a rookie quarterback, and you got to deal with the ups and downs that come with a rookie quarterback. And again, it's the learning curve. I feel that they probably do have some form of regret in the back of their mind, because you draft Caleb Williams and you're thinking that he's going to be the answer, answers to all the questions and all the prayers and whatnot that you have. You guys think that Caleb Williams at that time, not seeing that you have a good quarterback, he's just in a really bad situation in Chicago. You guys thought that folks thought that Caleb Williams was the next greatest thing since sliced bread. But there got to be some. I know in the back of their mind there's some buyer's remorse, because again, you look at what Justin Fields doing. His numbers aren't eye popping or flying off the hinge, but the thing that matters most is the wins and losses, and he's playing solid football for the Pittsburgh Steelers. On top of that, not to talk down on Matt Eberflus as a coach, but he's playing for Mike Tomlin. He's playing for a coach that has had over a 500 record every year that he's coached. A guy that has really, again, he's a leader of men and a really amazing coach, and he's developing Justin and just teaching him the nuances of the game. He has a veteran coach that is really going to pull him back in when he needs to, and whatnot. But in terms of Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, do you go back to Russell Wilson? He was declared the starter, if I'm not mistaken, by the preseason or in the training. He was declared the starter. Right now, Justin Fields is doing the job, but you have to stay with the hot hand. You have, because you never know how your locker room is going to react to the changing of the guard. Russell Wilson's first team first ballot Hall of Famer with his career. He's a championship quarterback. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He is a consummate pro. And I know that Russell, being a team first guy, not a me first guy, he wants to win. His whole idea is, if Justin is doing the job, keep him in, and whatnot. This is about the team and the team, going forward and winning games and putting themselves in a position to compete for a championship. So, do you give Russell the job back? You got to ride with the hot hand. And if Justin is again continuing to flourish, and unless he has a game where he throws about 4 or 5 picks, right now you run with the hot hand, and if he's leading the offense and the offense is responding to him, you stay with that hot hand.
Now, I just looked it up to get some numbers. The Steelers have held the ball offensively more than their opponent in every game they played this season.
Yes, they have.
They have. Every game they've held it for more than half the game. That is perfect. That is what you want out of your offense. I mean, you can look at that and say, okay, well, obviously there needs to be efficiency there. We don't want to hold the ball the whole game and not win. But they've won and been able to hold the ball longer than their opponent every single game this season. That's what you want from Justin Fields. So they bring him in and they're saying, okay, well, we want this running quarterback. We don't have to spend much on him. I mean, Nate, we talked about it. They're spending $4.5 billion on 2 quarterbacks this season. That is a steal. They're playing money ball, Nate. That's what Mike Tomlin's doing. He's playing money ball out here, and it's working. They are one of 5 teams that are still undefeated in the NFL, and they're looking good. They're looking really good. So, we were on the same page, yes, about Justin Fields. I didn't think he should have left Chicago. I didn't think it was he only got better. And so you just said it, you got to ride with the hot hand. He was the hot hand in Chicago. He was only getting better. And the Chicago Bears dealt him away. And now the Steelers don't have to pay nothing for him because he's on they ain't got to pay nothing for him. The Chicago Bears wouldn't have had to pay nothing for him. But now they took advantage of it. They're doing what the Bears should have done, and it's working. Now the Bears got to reap what they sowed. Drafted number 1 overall. Pushed more money into that than they would have with Fields. Because that number 1 overall contract ain't cheap now.
No, it's not. Cheap. No, it's not.
And then when you buy the ultimate deluxe large loaf of bunny bread, it's going to be more expensive than the great value kind. I can assure that. And bunny that's bread? Bunny bread. Bunny bread. What would be like the pristine line of loaves of bread, Nate?
Bunny bread.
Bunny bread. That's what I'm saying. You alluded to it earlier. The Bears fans think Caleb Williams best thing since sliced bread.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did say that.
But then they traded away Justin Fields for bag chips and Diet Coke, and now Justin Fields looks like the best thing since sliced bread. Asterisks. He looks better than Caleb Williams. I can say that.